Is the Wells Fargo Bilt Mastercard gonna make you rich? No. Is it a nice way to earn a bit of extra cash for simply paying your rent? Yes. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the good and the not so good so that you can determine whether or not it'll be worth your time. We're also gonna chat about a brand new feature that makes using Bilt even more lucrative for some members. So gently tap that like button and let's get into it. So Bilt's entire business model is built around providing its users with incentives for paying their rent. While they do have the Bilt Mastercard, which is backed and administered by Wells Fargo, they also have what's known as the Bilt Rewards Alliance. So a couple questions I had when researching this card were, what's the difference between the Bilt Rewards program and the Bilt Mastercard? And what exactly is the Bilt Alliance? Also, how easy is it to actually pay your rent with Bilt in order to get those 1x points? When you pay your rent with Bilt, you'll earn what are known as Bilt points, which we'll talk about in depth a bit later in the video. But in order to earn these Bilt points, you don't necessarily need their MasterCard if, and it's a big if, your particular rental is part of the Bilt Alliance. And you may be asking yourself, well, how do I figure out if my rental is included? There's a few different ways we can find this out. You can download the Bilt Rewards app, make a free Bilt account, and pop in your address where it'll tell you whether or not your address is part of the Bilt Alliance. Another option is to email support@BiltRewards.com, or you can simply call up your landlord or property management company and simply ask if they're part of the Bilt Alliance. Now, if they are, you'll earn a flat 250 points per monthly on-time rent payment, no matter how much your rent is. So as you can see, the maximum Bilt points you can earn in a given year is 3,000, which only equates to $30 per year at a 1 cent per point valuation. To really get the most out of Bilt's rewards program, you want to look at the Bilt Mastercard. The Bilt Mastercard touts no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, 1x points on rent payments with a cap of 50,000 points per year, 2x points on travel, 3x points on dining, and 1x points on everything else. This card also offers some pretty impressive additional benefits that we'll talk about in a minute. But the main reason you'd want to sign up for this card is for the 1x points on rent purchases. And if you think rent prices are absolutely bonkers in the United States, do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button down below. So if your rent is $1,500 per month, that means you can earn 1,500 Bilt points per month, or 18,000 per year. Now, we're gonna talk about how to extract much more value than 1 cent per point out of your Bilt points, but even if we value these 18,000 points at 1 cent per point, that means you'll get $180 back per year. Now, this is great, especially since otherwise, you really wouldn't be getting any rewards from paying rent. But that brings me to how it actually works. Because if my landlord doesn't accept credit cards, or if I have to pay a 3% transaction fee for paying with a credit card, then what the heck? Well, Bilt solves this issue by actually sending your property a rent check on your behalf and then applying the rent payment to your card. And even if you pay your landlord with Venmo or PayPal, you'll still be able to earn 1x rewards through Bilt. And honestly, Bilt is probably taking a financial hit for offering this service in hopes that you use your Bilt Mastercard for other spend that they can actually make money on. However, there is a caveat to getting those Bilt points from paying rent, and that's that you must make a minimum of 5 purchases with your Bilt Mastercard for the month in order to qualify. Now, while this may be a huge turnoff for you, there's a simple method that can help you reach these 5 purchases with minimal money and minimal effort. First of all, your actual rent payment will count toward your 5 purchase minimum. For the remaining 4 purchases, for a completely hands-off, automated approach, you can set up auto reload to your Amazon.com account funded with your Bilt card. The downside to this is for recurring Amazon reloads, there's a $5 minimum per reload. However, you can reload your Amazon account manually for as little as 50 cents per reload, which means you'd only have to spend $2 each month. Now, this method obviously only makes sense if you actually use Amazon, but this method does have an 8-cent monthly opportunity cost on those $2, assuming you have a card that gets you 5% cash back at Amazon. Another great option to hit your monthly 4 transaction requirement is to use your Bilt card for dining. This card is actually quite competitive in the dining category since it gets you 3x Bilt points. Now, I would never advocate going out and making purchases that you wouldn't normally make, but if you already eat out 4 times a month, Bilt can be a great option for this spend. You'll also get 2x points for travel when you book directly with airlines, hotels and resorts, cruises, and rental cars. For this category, you can certainly get higher rewards with other no annual fee cards, like the Wells Fargo Autograph, for example. So it's easy to look at the 2x travel points and come to the conclusion that this card isn't really worth it to use on travel. Except for one really nice benefit that this card provides that we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes. So as far as the app, The Bilt Rewards app is definitely well polished, providing you with all the information you need in the palm of your hands. You can also access your Bilt account through web browsers, which I personally prefer as I tend to do my banking while sitting at my computer. Now, the sign-up bonus. There is none. With that said, I'm willing to overlook the lack of a sign-up bonus because Bilt is offering a unique value proposition that you can't really find anywhere else. However, innovation does breed competition, so hopefully we'll see some other companies begin to offer similar products that offer rewards for paying rent, and hopefully for paying mortgages as well. Now, in order to be eligible for the Bilt Mastercard, you do have to be at least 21 years of age, and as far as credit scores, you want to have good to excellent credit before you apply for this card. And this means you want to have at least a 670 FICO score. Now, if you do decide to apply for the Bilt Mastercard, you'll want to make sure you know about the rewards tiers. Now, you start out at the blue level, but depending on how many Bilt points you earn for the year, you can move up through the silver, gold, and finally, the platinum level. The base blue level means you can redeem your Bilt points at a 1-to-1 ratio with Bilt's travel partners. You also get access to the Bilt collection, which is simply a curated storefront of home decor type items that you can use to decorate your home. Now, in order to move up to the silver tier, you'll need to have earned 25,000 points for the year. If you're only really using this card to pay your rent would need to be about $2,100 per month in order to earn this number of points. However, it could be a bit easier to hit this milestone if you're taking advantage of the elevated 2x and 3x point categories. Silver status unlocks the ability to report on-time rent payments to the credit bureaus. This is a new feature that only applies if you live in a Bilt Alliance property, like we talked about before. But this feature can really be a game changer as it'll have a positive impact on your credit history and your credit score. This type of benefit is typically only enjoyed by homeowners as they're paying down a mortgage. Renters, on the other hand, they don't have a mortgage that they're paying down, so on-time rent payments aren't reported to the bureaus. Bilt changes this by rewarding on-time rent payments not only with 1x points, but also by reporting these payments to the 3 main credit bureaus. Now, this is an opt-in service, so if you'd prefer to not have your payments reported, that's up to you. After all, it's always nice to have choices. The silver tier also unlocks a 10% bonus on lease incentive points if you're renting from a Bilt Alliance property. And reaching the silver tier also means that you'll be earning interest on your accrued Bilt points. Now, this sounds really great until you realize it's based on the FDIC national savings rate, which is quite low. But hey, it's free money. Now, if you're able to reach the gold tier by accumulating 50,000 points per year, your bonus on lease incentive points rises to 25%. You'll also get access to Bilt's homeownership concierge service. If you opt to redeem your points for a down payment on a home, you can speak with Bilt's dedicated concierge who will walk you through the home buying process step by step. Now for the platinum tier. To reach this level, you must earn 100,000 Bilt points for the year. This will clearly be fairly tough to achieve because even if you max out the 1x rental points, getting 50,000 points, you'll still have to earn an additional 50,000 points through other spend. As an example, 50,000 points in the 3x dining category means you'll have to spend $16,667, while 50,000 points in the 2x travel category means you'll have to spend $25,000. So yeah, if you're running a ton of dining and travel spend through this card, it's possible. But I certainly wouldn't alter my spend behavior solely to reach this platinum tier. Now, if you do reach this tier, your bonus on lease incentive points will increase to 50%. And you'll also get an exclusive gift from the Bilt collection. I have no idea what this exclusive gift is going to be valued at, but the highest valued item I'm currently seeing in the Bilt collection is a mushroom lamp that costs 30,000 Bilt points, which would be about $300 at a 1 cent per point valuation. It can be overwhelming looking at all the possible redemption options Bilt offers. You can use your points for shopping, paying rent, a down payment on a house, fitness classes, purchasing an item from the Bilt collection, or transferring points to a travel partner. I'm gonna give more of a high-level overview of the redemption options, pointing out the ones that aren't worth your time, so you can focus on what will provide you with the most value. First off, if you rent from a property within the Bilt Rewards Alliance, you can use your points toward a future rent payment. But the valuation on points is gonna vary by location. The valuation will likely be far below 1 cent per point, but if this method applies to you, make sure to check with your property. Next, using your Bilt points to shop on Amazon will get you 0.7 cents per point, making this method really bad. You can also use your points to shop directly from the Bilt collection, which is a bit more complicated to value properly since you'd have to do it on an item per item basis. And redeeming your points for fitness classes will vary by the class, but you should get approximately 1 cent per point. Another option is to redeem your points directly through Bilt's travel portal, which is powered by Expedia. Now this option is going to get you 1.25 cents per point, which sounds nice in theory, but I would personally pass on this option for one of the next options we're going to talk about. You can also redeem your points for a down payment on a house, and this option will get you a higher valuation than any of the options we just talked about, coming in at 1.5 cents per point. While using your points to fund a down payment can be a really nice option, you'll likely be able to get an even higher cent per point valuation by transferring your points to Bilt's travel partners. This will take a bit more legwork as you need to figure out the value of the points at the different travel partners, but you could squeeze out up to 2 cents per point worth of value by going this route. And the great thing about Bilt is they have 9 airline partners and 2 hotel partners, giving you plenty of options. It's really not common to see this many travel partners from a no annual fee card, so it's important to consider this benefit when deciding whether or not to get this card. This can be especially helpful if there's overlap in travel partners with the Bilt Mastercard and your favorite travel credit card. Plus, Bilt's going to give you 100 bonus points for every single loyalty program that you link to your Bilt Rewards account. Now let's talk about some additional benefits. The Bilt Mastercard offers trip delay insurance for delays of at least 6 hours long. This is a great perk, and I actually could have used this earlier in the year when I experienced a 9-hour delay. Unfortunately, I had used my Chase Sapphire Preferred for my flight, and that particular card's trip delay insurance kicks in at the 12-hour mark, leaving me on the hook for any expenses I incurred. The Bilt Mastercard offers $200 in daily trip delay protection per person, up to $1,800 for all covered persons on the same trip. This benefit falls somewhere in between the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The Preferred gets you $500 per ticket, but it kicks in at the 12-hour mark, while the Reserve also gets you $500 per ticket, but it kicks in at the 6-hour mark. And mind you, both of those cards have an annual fee. Before we talk about one of the most underrated things about the Bilt Mastercard, let's talk about cell phone protection. If you pay your wireless bill with your Bilt Mastercard, you're gonna get cell phone protection of up to $800, which covers damage or theft of your phone. Now, this is supplemental insurance, meaning if your phone is covered by another insurance policy, you must exhaust that insurance first before you apply for insurance through Bilt. And while this protection does cover $800, there is a $25 deductible, and you're limited to 2 claims per 12-month period. Overall, this is a really nice perk that rivals more premium cards. And the only downside here is that you'll only be earning 1x points on your wireless bill by using the Bilt Mastercard. The most underrated benefit this card offers is the primary auto rental collision damage waiver. This type of coverage is generally only found on premium travel cards that carry an annual fee. So seeing this being offered on a no annual fee card is really nice. If you don't otherwise have a premium travel card, the Bilt Mastercard is certainly a nice choice because not only do you get this primary collision coverage for rental cars, but you'll also get 2x points on your rental. Now, of course, there are stipulations to this coverage. For instance, they're not going to cover any damage to your rental Lamborghini or McLaren. In fact, the fine print states the particular expensive or exotic cars that won't be covered by this insurance. And there's also some additional perks you'll get with this card, like Lyft credits, DoorDash discounts, and purchase security for theft and damage protection. There's also a really neat feature they're calling Bilt Protect, which allows you to link your bank account with your Bilt Mastercard in order to automatically pay off any rent charges on your card statement. This makes it easier to manage your rent payments while ensuring your rent charges don't count toward your credit utilization. Now, in my humble opinion, this card is a no-brainer for pretty much anyone who rents their home. The average monthly rent in the United States is $1,326. This means you'll be getting almost 16,000 Bilt points per year, which can be valued up to $300 in rewards. And if you want to test your credit knowledge, check out this video where I cover 7 credit card misconceptions. And if you are a renter, how much are you paying for rent? Let me know down below. Peace.